Alright, Shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Shem Yahshai by Shem Karkadash. Double honor to the apostles and to the GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are there in truth and in sincerity, and women and children who follow. So, got a series of articles, a couple precepts, and a video. Yes, it might seem like it's kind of bouncing around, but you'll soon see that it's all tied together and the correlation between them. So we're going to be talking about the vaccine for the coronavirus, facial recognition, and 5G. Because all these things are going on right now and they're all intertwined. And I'm going to lead you down the rabbit hole to show you the connection between them. So with that being said, we're going to, hold on, let me, in the car, and the dog's barking, so we just going to relocate real quick. But just bear with me for a hot second. Alright, so here we go. So this is from let's see, ABC News San Diego. It says states have authority to fine or jail people who refuse coronavirus vaccine, attorney says. It says as drug makers race to develop a vaccine against the coronavirus, several legal questions are emerging. Could the government require people to get it? Could people who refuse to roll up their sleeves get banned from stores or lose their jobs? Which is a good question. It's a very relevant question. And one that I actually posed to my supervisor. I wrote him an email asking him, if and when they get this vaccine rolling, will they make it mandatory in order to, still work at the call center? And he emailed me back and he replied that, we're just going to have to see how readily available it's going to be and how many people have access to it. And at the end of the day, they're going to do, quote, what's best for our people. I didn't tell him that, I'm not going to take it, which I'm not going to take it. But I wanted him to give me an organic answer opposed to a answer that, would kind of, push him one way or the other. So, with that being said, like I said, we'll get the scripture real quick. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 1, it's talking chapter 5, verse 3. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, they shall not escape. Because that's what they're going to do. Just like I said, my boss said, it's all about what's best for our people and our company at the end of the day. They want to try to push that safety, that comfort agenda to try to, let you know that they got your best interests in mind or at heart. So if you don't get it, they don't want you to come into the stores and affect other people or go to the job and infect other people. But if the vaccine works and all those people took the vaccine, if I got it, they shouldn't get it. So why am I not allowed in stores? There's a lot of holes in their logic that don't make sense. And that's why we're here. We're going to poke some of those holes. I watched a video the other day, one of the brothers sent. It was a Mike from Boston video, and he had some good points. I'm going to bring up some of those points in this video. So we're going to keep going along. It says the short answer is yes. According to Doug Fox, a law professor and the director of the Center for Health Law, Policy, and Bioethics at the University of San Diego, says states can compel vaccinations in more or less intrusive ways. He said in an interview, they can limit access to schools or services or jobs if people don't get vaccinated. They can force them to pay fines or even lock them up in jail. And that's actually what happened back in the day with the pandemic that happened in the early, was it 1920s or 1921, whatever it was. But they had precedent back then. If you didn't want to get vaccinated, then they were subject to put you in jail. So if you don't want to get the coronavirus vaccine, they can put you in jail. But like, the guy said, matter of fact, I'm mixing up videos. I watched two different videos. There's another guy who said some of this information as well. I don't have his name, but he said, you're going to put me in jail for not taking the vaccine for the coronavirus, but you're letting people out of jail, so that everyone in jail doesn't get the coronavirus. Well, that doesn't make sense. You obviously have an agenda if you'll put me in jail so that, because I didn't want to take the vaccine to prevent coronavirus, but you're letting people out of jail who aren't vaccinated to potentially still get the coronavirus, or to stop from the spread of the coronavirus in jail, to quote social distance. It's just a lot of holes in this way of thinking. It says Fox noted authorities in the United States have never attempted to jail people for refusing a vaccine, but other countries like France have adopted this aggressive tactic. I don't have the source. I think I watched a video on YouTube the other day when they said that they were taking action on people back in the day for not taking the vaccine. So, I really wish I had that source right now, but, Lord's will, I can try to find it and post it in the description down below with these articles. But we're gonna move forward, because really, that's really all the meat I need to get off of this bone. Is basically they're just trying to say that they can lock you up if you don't take the vaccine. So, which leads me to the next article. What if you run? Now, what if you run? Now, they can come to your residence, or they can come to your job, if you're even still working at your job. But they can use these methods to find you and to take you into jail because you didn't take the vaccine. But what if you're on the run? How can they find you? And that leads me to my next article. Face swapping. So they got all these new apps. They got all these new apps, what's this one? Reface, that's what it's called, Reface, where basically you can take your face and you can put it on a video, or, one girl on my social media, it was a Rihanna video, but it was her face on Rihanna throughout the whole video. They're using that technology, that along with Snapchat and all these filters and all that. Show me a picture from 5 years ago and a picture today to show age progression. They're using all that to gather your information so that they have all your biometrics aligned in the system, so that when they do need to come hunt you down, if they need to hunt you down, they can find you. So let's read this a little bit. It says, from Instagram to TikTok, social media has been flooded with videos from Duplicat or Reface, a new app that allows users to place their faces onto images of someone in an existing GIF or video. It says, want to be Britney Spears in her Toxic music video? How about Robert Downey Jr. from Iron Man? No problem. It takes just a few seconds to get a vid that will impress and amuse your friends. But is the Duplicat Reface app safe? It says, let's clear up some confusion. While the general public is referring to the app as Duplicat, the URL is duplicat.com, and many of the videos are watermarked with the Duplicat name and logo, It's now being officially called Reface, face swap videos, and the duplicate URL redirects to reface.app. So here you go. And of course, they would put a man, on a woman's body because that's the agenda that they're pushing. You know, that homosexual, there we go again. And there we go again. And that's a woman on a man. There we go again. Because this is the agenda that they're pushing, this, homosexual, faggoty type agenda. And so that's really all that needs to be said. You can see what it does. It takes your face, your exact face, and it blends it perfect onto an existing GIF or an existing video. So, what does that lead us to next? Because if they're using this technology, then they have to implement it. And if you're on the run and they have this technology, where will they implement it? And this is from July 5th of this year. It's from theatlantic.com. It says, defund facial recognition. I'm the second generation black activist and I'm tired of being spied on by the police. Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, George Floyd, Rayshard Brooks, Oluwatanyu Salu, Robert Forbes. As each story emerges of black life violently ended by law enforcement, white nationalists, or other forms of impersonal violence, a multiracial movement for black lives led by black activists has kept pace. What has also kept pace are the disturbing, highly advanced police technologies using to spy on these activists. My mother survived the surveillance of the FBI's counterintelligence program as civil rights activists in the 1960s. As a second-generation black activist, I'm tired of being spied on by the police. In June, in the midst of a mushrooming protest movement against increasingly visible police killings of black people and simultaneously exploding coronavirus pandemic that's taking black lives at a disproportionate rate, IBM made a surprising announcement that it would stop selling / researching or developing facial recognition services. Amazon and Microsoft followed with their own announcements that they will not sell facial recognition services or products to state and local police departments pending federal regulation. So what he's saying is he's tired of people using facial recognition. It says in 2015, which this is where I really wanted to get to, in 2015, facial recognition technology was used to track and arrest Baltimore protesters reacting to the police murder of Freddie Gray, the young black man who died in police custody from spinal injuries, which no one was held responsible. In the past few weeks, Homeland Security has spied on protesters in 15 cities, citing drone surveillance, while police body cameras equipped with facial recognition technology have captured the images of protesters. Comedian John Oliver has raised concerns that unchecked facial recognition is now one of policing's most powerful tools. So with this facial recognition, which you're giving them all your information on your social media because you want to do a dub smash or a TikTok, or you want to do a face swap or a reface, whatever they're calling it, or you want to, show me a high school picture and a picture from today. All these avenues are just giving them all the information that they need. They already got all your ID pictures that you ever took. Hell, they could probably go get your school pictures if they needed to. But still, all this is leading to them being able to find you. Okay, so let's look at one other one other aspect of this, because let's go to Google. It says there are 6,500 stationary speed cameras in Great Britain, making the European country the second highest prevalence behind Italy with 10,000. So basically, Italy has 10,000 speed cameras. Italy is about the size of maybe California. Maybe California and Oregon. We'll say, let's be generous and say Washington and California, which I'm pretty sure California is a pretty big state. I'm pretty sure it's not even that big, but we'll be generous and say that. In that small area, there's 10,000 cameras. In Great Britain is not even the size of Texas. Great Britain is, because Texas and France are about the same size. And Great Britain is way smaller than that. Great Britain is probably the size of Nebraska. How accurate is that? Let's see. Nebraska is 77,000 square miles. Okay, the UK is 93,000 square miles. So it's a little bit bigger than Nebraska. So we'll say, what state's a little bit bigger than Nebraska? We'll say like Minnesota. A little bit bigger than Minnesota. Okay, so Great Britain is a little bit bigger than Minnesota. And they have, it said what, 6,500 cameras in an area a little bit bigger than Minnesota. And when you go down here, how many cameras are in the U.S.? Right now, we have a little bit over 4,000 cameras. They have 6,500 in Minnesota, basically, for Great Britain. That lets you know the concentration of cameras that they have and how easily accessible this facial recognition technology is in the UK and in Italy and really in Europe, period. So how does one compete with that? Well, let's get some scriptures real quick, because they did say that they could throw us in jail for not taking the vaccine. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and that ye have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." So there are going to be murders. There are going to be people who are jailed. There are going to be people who are sent to concentration camps for not only just not taking the vaccine, but in the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That there's going to come a day when they're going to make their rounds. Okay, just like when September 11th happened, and as our apostles told us, that same, I don't know if it was later that day or the next day, that same week, they came for him. Because they knew that they were doing the work, and they knew exactly where to go. So if they knew exactly where to go, and they were in Connecticut at that time, so if they knew where to go in Connecticut to come get them, what makes you think that they can't round up the camps in this day and age? And we go to the highways, we go to the hedges, We go to the marketplaces. We go to these busy areas because that's where the people are. And they have that technology out, facial recognition. But for, just to play, quote, devil's advocate, what if you are on the run and you are in a house, or you are in a bunker, or you are in a, quote, safe area, and, you got provisions and you're good, you're not going to come out, what can they do? And that's where this comes in.
Man's greatest powers is seeing through walls using X-ray vision. That ability may no longer be limited to comic book heroes. Don Dahler is here to show us. Don, good morning.
Good morning. Someday soon, you won't need a cape or special glasses to detect someone through walls. It's not science fiction, but a very real and promising technology that's being developed today by researchers at MIT. Step onto the campus at MIT, and you're likely to get a glimpse of the future. There are fast-flying autonomous drones and plenty of robots, including one developed to run and jump like...
It's an autonomous drone, which means it operates by itself. It doesn't need you to be at the controls. It's controlling itself.
A cheetah, and another with a soft enough grip to handle an egg. Some of the most recent MIT breakthroughs, however, are happening here at the university's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Lab.
Think of it like your Wi-Fi router.
Where this simple-looking box applies a complex set of algorithms to do something once limited to science fiction.
This is a demo that shows the ability of tracking people through walls.
Dina Katabi is the professor leading the project, dubbed Emerald, which, as PhD student Chen-Yu Xu demonstrates, is a wireless technology that captures motion in real time and regardless of obstruction.
This red dot is Chen-Yu moving.
So Chen's not wearing anything special. It's just picking up his movement through the wall.
Yeah, no cell phone, no pendant, no sensor. It's purely based on wireless signals reflects off our body and comes back to the device.
What was the inception for this?
So, we work on wireless networks. The question was, can you use wireless networks or Wi-Fi for purposes other than communications? Can you sense the environment with it?
The low-frequency wireless signals not only detect Chen-Yu's position in the room, but his...
The low-frequency wireless signals, those low-frequency Wi-Fi signals, which is what? Which is why they're rolling out 5G. Because it's a low-frequency microwave, millimeter wave. Okay, and they have the ability to turn it up or turn it down. The stronger they turn it up, the more sick people are going to get. Not only that, which also is going to back up their claim for you getting vaccinated and people getting sick and whatnot. Not only that, they're going to be able to use it to see in a house and see how many people are there. So if you are on the run and you do think that you've eluded, the police, they can use this facial recognition technology along with the 5G to locate you. And now you're got. And all of this is doing what?
Hey everyone, this is Apollo for American Education Fund. We are a non...
It's all leading to the mark of the beast. We all know what the elephant in the room is. We all know what's going on and where they're leading to. Okay? I really shouldn't even have to read this scripture, but I'm going to read it for, edification's sake. There's always new people that are coming in and might not know. So we are going to read it. We're going to break down the scripture. Okay? It says that, and he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay, and that's this quote, image of the beast is America and its ways, its customs, its pastimes, and you can see this shift as it's going right now into the New World Order. Because if you're not riding their wave, we just read the article that they can throw you in jail. Or if they want, they can just kill you. Let's go back in time. During the French Revolution, they wrote out, I can't remember what it's called right now, but basically King Louis and Marie Antoinette, they took them out of power, and then they were running the government. Some individuals were running the government, and because of their paranoia, that's actually where the chopping block, basically, what's it called? Slocky. The guillotine. That's actually where the guillotine comes from. There's a guy named Guillotine in France who created it as a quick and easy way to equally punish the people. So over 40,000 people got their head chopped off, and they might have just been like, man, I kind of wish the king was still in power. Bam, you get your head chopped off. You said anything against the king, you got your head chopped off. And I'm not saying that in these times it will go to something as serious, but there has been precedent for it. And if you're not going along with the program, we already know that they can kill you. They had secret police in those times. They can have secret police in these times. A lot of places have secret police. Russia has secret police. It says, any cause of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and their foreheads. Just like they're trying to make this vaccine, unilateral or mandatory, or have everyone take it. It's the same with, the mark, which is the RFID chip, if I didn't mention it. The mark of the beast is the RFID chip, which they very well could put in a mandatory vaccine to make everyone take it. Even if they don't put the RFID chip into the vaccine, there's, that's a whole nother story about, taking vaccines, but we all know why you shouldn't take a vaccine. But when you're in debt, what, $23 trillion, when you see how they're rolling back, taking cash, they don't want to take cash because of a, quote, coin shortage. Everything's coming, cash and credit, or swipe this, or put your phone next to that. They're rolling in this cashless society, which is all roads lead to the mark of the beast. Matter of fact, that's probably what I'll title this video. All roads lead to the mark of the beast. It says that no man might buy or sell, save he either had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to buy, you're not going to be able to sell unless you have this mark. They just mentioned you're not going to be able to go into the grocery stores, you're not going to be able to go to work unless you have the vaccine. At my job right now, to clock in, I hit my 4 little numbers, and then I got to press my finger, a biometric, against the scanner. A lot of people got to do that to get into their gyms. They're starting to use it for cars, for locked doors in the household. All roads are leading to the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So when you look at a UPC, a scan code, which anything you buy in the store, it has the little barcode. That first line, which is a little bit lower than all the rest, the middle line, which is a little bit lower than all the rest, and that last line that's a little bit lower than all the rest, though that represents 6. Each one of those bars has a numeric representation, and those 3 are 666, which is the mark of the beast. which is why you're going to have to scan in order to live in this society. So, Lord, as well, you were edified and you got something out of this lesson, and you can see the correlation between all of these different aspects that's going on in today's society. And with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Rakar Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and in sincerity, and the women and children who follow. Shalom.